Disclaimer. Before this tutorial starts, I need you to understand that at the end of this video you will not be instantly better than every sparrer out there. The things that I'm about to teach you are so that you can progressively get better at sparring. It will take time, but it will be rewarding. This being said, let's get started with the video. Welcome to the first episode of what will be my series of iMagic Sparring School. This video will be focusing on how choosing the right gun can help you get better in sparring. Starting with the price, going all the way down to spread and freeze, guns come in all shapes and forms. A good weapon is essential for sparring. Note that I said good and not powerful. The common misconception is that the stronger the weapon, the better it is for sparring. But in reality, the weaker the gun, the better you'll get with it. Let me explain myself. A player that goes from 0 spars to 10,000 wins with a starter gun will by far be better than a player who does the same thing but with a bar. The reason for this is that the more you compensate the lack of power of your gun with skill, the less you will depend on the advantages of a powerful gun. The traits that you need to look for on the perfect gun for you are a low to medium freeze, a high or decent clip, which is about 14 bullets or more, and just for the sake of modern sparring, 9 damage on perfect shape. The fire rate doesn't matter as much as people think. When you use the gun long enough, you'll get used to the fire rate. Freeze is a very important factor when choosing the right gun to buy. For sparring purposes, I strongly recommend weapons with medium to low freeze, which means that the gun has more mobility between firing bullets. This can make the difference between getting shot while rushing or not. Fire rate is one of the aspects that most people worry about. Some say that the faster the gun, the better it is for sparring, while others say the opposite. In my opinion, a moderate fire rate is key, not too fast that will cause you to take damage while shooting, and not too slow that you can't deal damage to your opponents fast enough. Spread is often not considered by players when purchasing a gun. Spread is of so much help, especially in situations where your opponent has a bad connection. This doesn't mean that you should go and buy the gun with the most spread that you can find. I personally prefer guns with lower spread because I can control better where my bullets are going instead of dealing damage just with some luck. Clip is so critical in sparring. I have lost many matches because my weapon had a very low clip and I had to be reloading it every 5 seconds. It is important to choose a gun that has a minimum of 14 bullets in the chamber, just so you won't be frustrated when you run out of bullets mid-spar. Believe me, it happens a lot. Reload is yet again an overlooked factor in gun selection, just like with the clip. If your gun can't reload fast enough, you are prone to take more damage and eventually lose a match. So be very careful next time you're buying a gun, because things like these can really make a difference. Lastly, I will be talking about whether or not you should be using automatic guns for sparring. For the most part, having an automatic gun can work just as good as having a semi-automatic. Just tap instead of holding down the fire button. With Vector, it took me a little while to get used to it, but finally I felt almost no difference between semi and auto firing. And finally, I will be showing you some of the guns that I definitely recommend if you just want to spar a lot, and these are really good guns and I definitely recommend you to buy them. Don't worry about the budget, because I will be listing guns from very affordable to those that have a little more money to spare.